Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm doing a first impressions. I don't think I've even done a first impressions on my channel before, so I'm really excited to share this video with you guys, and I am reviewing two different products. The first is the Showstopper palette by Tarte. I'll give you guys just a quick peek before I really get into the video. This is what it looks like. And the next product is by NYX, and this is the Sculpt and Highlight Brow Contour Pencil. One side is a brow product, the other side is a highlight. So if you guys want to hear what I think of these products, then just keep watching. Before I get into it, please subscribe and like if you are new to my channel. I post twice a week, so I'd love to have you stick around, and let's get started. So to get started, I do have my base on. I wanted everything that I would wear prior to these products on, so that way I can really do a first impressions and be thorough about these products. I don't have to waste time with everything else. So the first product I'm testing out is by Tarte. This kind of inspired this whole video. I really wanted to try this out, and this is the Showstopper palette. It's been out for, I think, about a year, and the main reason I wanted to try this out is because it has everything that you need as far as powders go in this palette. So let me take it out, of the packaging, and there's a card with some eyeshadow tips on it. I think it's halfway across the room now. And then here is the palette. This is so beautiful. So it's fake snakeskin. Obviously it has the texture, I think, of snakeskin, and then on the back as well as the sides it's just really bright gold, so it's very, very pretty. So when you open the palette, there is a bronzer, a highlighter, a blush, and then 6 eyeshadows, so quite a bit of product for a palette this size. So there's Park Avenue Princess, Champagne Pink Highlighter, Fame Blush, and then there's 6 eyeshadows. So the first one, Showstopper Copper, Go for the Gold is the second one. This is You're a Natural, Steal the Scene, so pretty. Rose to the Top is this one, and then the last one is Dim the Lights. So I'm so excited to try this out. Okay, so I'm just going to get started. That actually is a lot of product. I feel a little will go a long way with this, so I guess we'll see. And I can tell I have probably way more than I need on here, so I'm gonna put a little on the other side as well. So far, I'm really liking this bronzer. It's just really smooth, really simple and easy for you to blend out, which I think is really nice. I also feel this bronzer is just really buildable. I can put on a little for a natural look. I could also just put on a lot for a really contoured look. I typically do something right in the middle. I do think that this is just such a pretty bronzer. I really, really like it so far. Then I'm going to start just bringing this around the top of my forehead, just right along the hairline. And I'm just going to put a little bit under my lip and on the sides of my nose. Bring it down my neck just a little bit in a couple areas so I don't look tan and then pale. So I do feel and it might just be what I'm seeing on my viewfinder, I feel you can't really see it that well on camera, but in person, I love this bronzer. I think it looks really, really pretty. It's definitely really easy to blend out, and I do think it's extremely pigmented. It's just really soft, super creamy, so I really, really like this bronzer. I'm going to go in with the blush next, and this is a peachy pink. Really pretty. It's definitely something that I would wear on an everyday basis, so that's one of the main reasons I wanted to try this palette out. So I'm just going to start with a little bit to see how pigmented it is, which it is extremely pigmented. But I will say this blush did blend out flawlessly. It's just very pigmented. A little will go a long way, so just going to tap that on the other side. I do think this is a really, really pretty blush. And next is the highlighter. So again, it's called Champagne Pink over here in the corner. On camera, it does look pretty white. I would say it's a very, very light rose gold shade. So I'm just gonna put a little on this brush. All of these have been extremely pigmented so far, so I don't want to put a lot on, but I'll just see. Oh yeah, it's super pigmented again. It is really, really pretty though, and I really don't do a lot of first impressions because a lot of times it takes me a while to really like a product. I'm always I don't know, the first time I use it, but honestly I'm loving this so far, and it's just so cool that everything is here as far as your face powders. Wow, you guys, that is a very, very pretty highlight. I'm just gonna put a little on my nose, which I typically wouldn't do, but for this video. Why not? So pretty. I hope you can see. Yeah, I think you definitely can. I'm like watching in the viewfinder to see if you can see it, but that is so pretty, you guys. I never like things like the first time I try them out this much, so I'm really excited that this is going well so far. I'm going to start with this color right here. It's just like a really neutral just for my base. I'm just putting this all over the lid throughout the crease. Okay, for my lid, I'm going to use this second color here, second from the bronzer. These eyeshadows are very blendable again, just like the rest of the palette. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with this, I would say this is like a purpley mauve-y color that is going to go right into my crease. These are so pigmented and so easy to blend out. I really love the formula of these eyeshadows. I'm going to skip around and move on to my eyebrows because I just really don't want to look at them anymore, not having them like filled in. So I picked this up by NYX. This is the Sculpt and Highlight Brow Contour Pencils. So it looks like this. So basically one side is a brow pencil, one side is a highlight for the brow bone. So the shade I have is Taupe. I do have their brow pencil. It's basically like the Brow Wiz from Anastasia, but by NYX. It looks exactly the same. It works fairly similarly, I would say, and I have that in Taupe. So I did buy this in Taupe as well. It almost is like a thick eyeliner. Like this is the largest product I've ever really seen for eyebrows. It's just really thick. So I hope, oh actually this is skinnier than I thought. The packaging is pretty bulky honestly, which it might actually be a little bit more user friendly honestly since it isn't so tiny, but this is what the eyebrow side looks like. The packaging is way larger than the actual product. At first I was a little nervous thinking that the product is going to be way too thick and chunky for me to be able to use, but that's what it looks like so far. So we will see how I do with that. And then here is the highlight for the brow bone. It definitely is shimmery. The only thing I wish this had, which I can't have everything, especially since this has something on each side, is a brush. I did have to brush out my eyebrows already. I would have to anyways. I always like to brush them out first before I fill them in, so it's the only thing that's kind of annoying that this doesn't have, but again, it has something else, so there really isn't room for it, obviously, so I'm interested to see how I do with this, just because it is a little bit thicker than what I'm used to, so I'm just going to get started. So right away I can tell you, I actually feel like I have way more control with this than I do with their Brow Wiz. I thought that since this is thicker, it would be harder for me to use, but actually it just like feels way better in my hand. It feels way sturdier. I feel like the product is way smoother when it comes out in this like thick of a formula. So far I'm really liking this. Okay, so I just filled in that eyebrow and I can say I really love this, but I do have to brush through it. And I'm using their Brow Wiz for that, which is kind of funny, but I just have to brush through them before and after. I do think I filled them in way faster though with this, just since it's thicker. It is pretty subtle, so I don't think you would really even have to go in and blend it out if you really didn't want to, but I just want to blend out the ends a little. I love that it's part of the product already, and it is very subtle. It's definitely not a huge difference. I do feel like I have to have it out pretty far though, because I feel like the packaging starts to get in the way. It might just be the angle that I hold the pencil, but I definitely have it out a lot farther than I would with a Brow Wiz. I almost feel like this is more pigmented, but I think it's just more product is coming out faster. I do kind of wish that the brow highlighter was a little more pigmented. It is shimmery and I wish it just wasn't shimmery and that it was just like really brightening, because it isn't too noticeable. I almost wish it was a little more noticeable, but at the same time. Okay, I'm back. So I just added some eyeliner on the upper lid, a little bit of mascara. I was going to put on lashes. Honestly, I don't even know where I put them. I got them out and ready for this video, and now I can't find them, so I just skipped the lashes. I added some lip gloss. I am extremely impressed with this, you guys. I never like every product in a palette. I just never do. I don't know if I'm picky or what, but I love everything in this. Everything is so creamy, so blendable. very pigmented. I think these products are honestly way more pigmented. They all are than I was expecting. So for the price tag to have 6 eyeshadows, a blush, a highlight, and a bronzer all in the same palette, I think this is an amazing deal. I'm really excited to be able to take this with me on weekend trips. We do a lot of weekend trips in the summer, so I can take this and I don't have to take an eyeshadow palette, a separate blush, bronzer, or highlight. I can just take this for so many things. I'm really impressed with this, especially if you're someone like me who likes like a pretty everyday look. The only thing, which I'm happy about this because I need to start doing something different, I always do a pretty light eye, and these are a little darker than I'm used to, but I'm happy about that because I want to start like switching it up a little, so it will force me to do that. All of these eyeshadows are so pretty, you guys. I'm just really thrilled with this. I didn't think I would like this as much as I do, but I love it, especially the size of the mirror. I think the shape of this palette is perfect because I either have like rectangle palettes or they're very small to where the mirror, like I can't see my whole face. I love that I can see my whole face with this mirror. So I'm just really in love with this, you guys. I know I will use this pretty much every day from here on out. And then the eyebrow product, which is called Sculpt and Highlight Pencil. Again, this is by NYX. I'm really impressed with this as well. I wasn't thinking, and I know I said this already, I wasn't thinking I was going to like this since it is pretty thick, but this actually is so much creamier than the brow is. The color is definitely the same, and it's just so much creamier. I think since it's thicker, I feel like in the brow wiz it almost starts to dry out before you even start to use it, which I didn't think that until I tried this because this is just so much softer and creamier, so I feel like I can fill them in a lot faster with this, and even though it is thicker, I don't think it's harder to use or anything like that, so I really love that. The highlight, I do wish it wasn't so shimmery. It isn't obnoxious, it isn't super pigmented, but I do wish it was a little more brightening than it is shimmery, so I still will use this regularly, but I would say this is like a 6 out of 10, and I would definitely say the palette's like a 9 out of 10. I should say 10 out of 10. I don't know why I wouldn't. I guess I would say the palette is a 10 out of 10. I love the palette. I really can't say anything bad about the palette. This is like 6 or 7, probably 7, just because the eyebrow part is so much better than the other brow is. I do wish I had a spoolie on one end, but obviously I have something else, so I really can't say anything about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this first impressions. Please thumbs up this video if you did, and let me know in the comments if you guys have tried out these products or if you plan to. I would love to hear your feedback, so thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!